HOA blocked my cabin with spiked barricades. I sued and took their entire lot in return. The air was thick with the scent of pine and resentment. My cabin, a modest retreat nestled in the Karen Valley, was my sanctuary from the city's chaos. I'd bought the land fair and square, a slice of peace where I could write, breathe, and escape. But the Karen Valley Homeowners Association had other plans. Led by Margaret, a woman with a smile as sharp as her agenda, the HOA decided my cabin didn't fit their vision of community standards. They claimed my unpainted wood exterior and wildflower garden were an eyesore. I called it home. They called it a violation. It started with letters, polite at first, demanding I conform. I ignored them, thinking they'd tire out. Then came the fines, piling up like autumn leaves. I paid a few, hoping to keep the peace, but Margaret's crusade only grew. One morning, I woke to find my driveway blocked by spiked barricades, jagged planks nailed together, adorned with a smug note, "Comply or leave." My blood boiled. This wasn't just about aesthetics. It was personal. They wanted me gone. I tried reasoning. I knocked on Margaret's door, my heart pounding, only to be met with her cold stare. "This is for the community's good," she said, slamming the door. Neighbors watched from their porches, whispering. I felt like an outcast in my own home. That night, I sat in my cabin, staring at the barricades through the window, their spikes glinting under the moonlight. I wasn't just fighting Margaret. I was fighting a system that prized conformity over humanity. Desperate, I called a lawyer, Sarah, a no-nonsense woman who'd grown up in the valley. She warned me the HOA had deep pockets and deeper grudges, but she saw the fire in my eyes. "Let's hit them where it hurts," she said. We filed a lawsuit, claiming harassment and property interference. The HOA laughed it off, confident their rules were ironclad. But Sarah found a loophole. Their charter hadn't been properly renewed. One misstep and their authority could crumble. The trial was a spectacle. The courtroom buzzed with neighbors, some siding with me, others glaring like I'd betrayed the valley. Margaret took the stand, her voice dripping with self-righteousness. "He's tearing our community apart," she claimed, pointing at me. I clenched my fists, holding back the urge to shout. Sarah, calm as a storm's eye, dismantled their case, exposing their overreach and the illegal barricades. The judge's gavel fell like thunder. The HOA's actions were deemed unlawful. I won not just my freedom but their entire lot acres of land they'd controlled with an iron fist. Victory tasted sweet, but it was short-lived. The twist came when I met Tom, a quiet neighbor who'd stayed silent through the ordeal. One evening, he knocked on my door, his hands trembling. "I built those barricades," he confessed, his voice cracking. Tom wasn't part of the HOA's inner circle. He was a single dad, struggling to keep his home. Margaret had threatened to foreclose on his property if he didn't comply. "I didn't want to hurt you," he said, tears welling. "I just wanted to protect my kids." My anger melted into something heavier, grief for a community so divided that a man like Tom felt he had no choice. I kept the lot, but I didn't feel like a winner. The land, once a symbol of control, became a reminder of broken trust. I tore down the barricades myself, each splintered plank a piece of the valley's fractured spirit. Neighbors stopped waving. Margaret moved away, but her shadow lingered in the whispers and sidelong glances. I could have sold the lot for a fortune, but I turned it into a community garden, hoping to mend what was broken. Some joined me, planting seeds in silence. Others stayed away, their resentment as stubborn as the spikes I'd pried from the earth. The valley was never the same. My cabin stood free, but the cost was a community torn apart. I'd won the battle, but the wear of pride, power, and petty rules left scars no lawsuit could heal. Tom's confession haunted me. He'd been a pawn, caught in a game neither of us wanted to play. I wondered if I'd been too quick to fight, too eager to prove a point. The land was mine, but the peace I'd sought was gone. In the end, I sat in my cabin, staring at the garden where wildflowers now bloomed alongside tomatoes and marigolds. It was beautiful, but it wasn't enough. The valley's heart was still divided. and I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd played a part in its breaking. I'd fought for my home, but at what cost? The HOA's rules were gone, but so was the fragile thread of trust that once held us together. What do you think? Did I do the right thing by fighting back, or should I have found another way to keep the peace?